But of course, yesterday, big day here in Winnipeg. Lots of people out. Big party here at the Forks, started at noon.
Yeah, I was down here checking some stuff out. Really
Look
cool.
Look at that crowd.
A great crowd. Everybody real happy. Love the Jet helmets. Like, that's just good stuff.
We have half season, but we don't have...
That's just fantastic stuff. So yeah, tons of fun. We hit a whole lot of city stuff and had a great old time hanging out at the Forks. It was a blast, and everything was perfect. Well, most things were perfect.
And I saw,
the national anthem and the final score, but everything in between, great.
Yes, and that was most of it.
Good morning. Winnipeg Jets fans waited more than 15 years for what happened yesterday, and not even a 5-1 loss could dampen their spirits. Jets fans were out in full force across the city as the team kicked off the 2011-2012 regular season against the Montreal Canadiens. Nick Antropov scored the lone goal for the Jets. Police say no arrests were made in connection with the game or parties. 15,000 people were in attendance, including Prime Minister Stephen Harper. While the Jets were hard at work on the ice, their wives and girlfriends were also hard at work raising money.
Selling signed hockey pucks by one of the players. We're also selling bracelets, with all the proceeds going for the Love for Locomotive Foundation, which benefits all the families of the fallen Russian hockey team.
Fans crowded the table inside MTS Center to discover which mystery Jet player signed their lucky puck. The wives and girlfriends had 625 pucks in total and were hoping to raise $30,000 to help the families of the victims in the September crash.
A new team, a new logo, and fans right behind them every step of the way. I'm Sean Greck. Coming up on Breakfast Television, more on how the fans gear up for the game of a lifetime.
Go Jets, go! 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 Go Jets!
Good morning, welcome back to Breakfast Television. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Jets fans were pumped as they dusted off their jerseys to gear up for last night's NHL opening game at the MTS Center.
And BT's Sean Greck was there to follow the celebration pre-game party at the Forks and got the local reaction to welcoming home our very own team.
Go Jets, go! Go Jets,
Winnipeggers have been kept bottled up for 15 years, waiting for the day to shout out their love for NHL hockey. And does it ever feel good?
You know, it still hasn't sunk in yet. I was at the last game when they went away, and I don't know. I feel like a kid on Christmas.
A sea of blue and white blockaded the MTS Center as fans anxiously waited to fill those golden seats. Others, not so lucky, shopped last minute to score tickets to the highly anticipated home opener.
Oh, I think it's just absolutely great. Like, I used to go to the games in the old barn with my dad when I was like this tall, and I was there for the last game, and I just can't, everyone you go to, you talk to, and they're just so happy that they're back.
Fans also got the chance to bestow their best luck wishes to the Jets, touching the vessel of water that was poured onto the ice, honoring the team at the MTS Center.
I like pinch me. It still feels ridiculous. Like, I was one of the guys when no one said they're coming back when they built the MTS Center.
But there was little noise coming from the Hab fans, who were not afraid to stand proud while they continued to receive an unfriendly welcome.
Hey, anybody who comes in their building now is going to get booed, right? Whether it's the Habs or Toronto or whoever, so.
Although the fun did not stop there. If you didn't have any tickets, there was still a chance for you to enjoy the game over at the Forks. Hundreds of hockey lovers waved their flags to celebrate the return of the Jets.
We have half season, but we don't have for today, but that's okay. We're here. Woo! We'll be there. It's going to be just as loud here as it's going to be there.
While fans held on to their seats hoping to see a win, the enthusiasm was not dampened as the Habs beat the Jets 5-1. But there was still smiling faces at the convention center, with fans just happy to have a team to call their own.
We didn't play awesome, but we weren't terrible. So a lot of promise on this team.
Made a good game tonight. They did all they could. Yeah, great game. They're back.
You know what? Win or lose, we're back in the bigs, and that's what counts. The fact is, yeah, I wanted to win, but it's a loss, but that's a loss in the NHL.
Without NHL hockey in the city for more than a decade and a half, Winnipeggers were forced to hibernate. And although the opening game was not a victory, fans are just happy to feel the heartbeat of hockey once again. For Breakfast Television, I'm Sean Greck.
That's awesome.
That face paint was amazing.
That was really good. I didn't know Sean Grech could do that.
Very impressive.
Talented man.
Well, that's how Sean should paint his face next time. This all relates to our web poll question, of course. So we'll take a look at the results from Friday's web poll.
We're just asking how you were taking things in. Did you go to the game, you lucky son? Were you at the Afterburner social, or did you come to the Forks, or did you? A lot of us did have your own little return party sitting on the couch, and some of us, a surprising amount, I'll be honest,
Yeah,
said, "Hi, it's
16%.
Thanksgiving. Really sorry, I couldn't quite do it."
Yeah.
I didn't realize non-Canadians were allowed to vote in our polls. But apparently, foreigners can.
But you know what?
tune in
For
as well.
some people, Thanksgiving is perhaps the bigger event of the weekend. We do want you to vote on today's web poll question as well. BreakfastTelevision.ca is where you go. Let us know how you feel about the first Jets game. Was it almost perfect? Maybe you were disappointed after all that hype, or you're just happy to have the Jets back, or you feel that maybe a bit too much attention is paid to hockey. Let us know what you think. BreakfastTelevision.ca, and we will have those full results for you tomorrow.
The last one really not fair, because no question about it, our country pays too much attention to hockey. On a scale of 1 to 10, we rank
yes.
it a 97. Let's not be. We do pay a little too much attention to the game.
You know, and even though they lost yesterday, it being the first game, I didn't notice anyone being heartbroken. They were just so happy to have the team back.
It was about midway through the first one I realized that there was going to be a second game. Like it wasn't just
There's going to be more.
Again and again and again. Like they're back and they're staying, and it's not just an exhibition game we saw.
Well, I
That's
enjoyed
our team.
seeing the photos that people had put up on Facebook and Twitter of the crowds and the screaming and how deafening it was there inside MTS Center. So yeah, congratulations to everyone who got to go see the game, and it was a good time here at the Forks as well.
Yeah, and if you want pictures you want to share with us or your thoughts, of course, breakfasttelevision.ca is the easiest way to do it in the poll, or you can find us on Facebook, of course.
Yeah.
The Winnipeg Jets have found their mascot, and they didn't have to look too far. Mickey Moose has been recalled from the American Hockey League after 15 years with the Manitoba Moose to become the game day symbol of our NHL team. Officials say he was chosen because of his deep-rooted history with Manitobans. Mickey Moose will now be equipped with a new leather aviator helmet. I was a little bit surprised by that. I saw him at the game yesterday working the crowd, and I don't know, he still really represents the Moose for me. So it'll take a little time.
It might take a while to get used to, and we kind of miss Benny, but it's nice to see the connection, though, between the former team and the current team. You know, we can't forget our history with the Moose here in town.
Oh, it's true. 15 years they were here, so it is a nice way of honoring that.
A little tribute.
Well.
And not that our Jets fans need any pumping up, though. They're pretty crazy as is, but...
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? You could always raise the noise level a little bit more, right?
Why not?
That's
Why
true.
not? Especially in the third period, they got a little quiet.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
They did.
Oh, yeah, that.
That. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
It was really fascinating coming down to the Forks for the party because as you came over the Real Esplanade, you got to see the crowd separating. Guys who didn't have tickets going to the Forks, people who did have tickets continuing to
Sorry,
downtown.
walking down Portage.
You could see the line as they divided and made their way.
Oh, the division.
The haves and the have-nots.
The party here was a big one though for all the families too. It was great.
Tons of fun, lots of kids, some really small kids and some stuff. I didn't realize that they made hockey jerseys that small.
Do they like for babies?
Like yes, like she couldn't talk.
They will make them for anyone. You can sell it.
It's never too early to become a Jets fan, right?
No. Good morning. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. Happy Thanksgiving. Also, happy Jetsgiving. That was a big thing to say yesterday.
Happy Jetsgiving. I think it just rolls off the tongue.
It makes so much sense. It was a great party, of course, yesterday here in Winnipeg, down at the Forks as well. You were down here.
Yeah, tons of people. It was
Bunch
really
of
cool.
people.
Yeah, tons of people, lots of fun, tons of good times. A really nice vibe. Really cool. Let's get together and have a big party.
And you said it was a real family event too.
Yeah.
So people brought their kids down.
Lots of the littlest Jets fans, and lots of kids who had no idea what it was they were cheering for, but gave me a "Go Jets Go" every time I asked.
See, that's nice.
It was super fun. Some lucky people were lucky enough to go to the game, and even our director Ian actually is one of those lucky people.
I didn't know Ian went to the game. Oh wait, yes, I did know.
He took transit down, which I really like, Ian.
It was the Jets bus.
I would have given you a lift for a ticket, man. Just, you know, I'm just saying.
Look at that crowd. Oh my gosh.
And it was an early
Blue and
crowd
white.
too. They were packing the place for warm-ups, cheering for practice. It was just a thing of beauty.
Wow. Amazing. I heard it was deafening in there.
He doesn't have the best seats in the whole place, but still, seats nonetheless.
You know what? I don't think it mattered to anyone. As long as I could be in there to experience the game, it was a good night. No matter who won, I think.
Now, Ian said he wanted to capture the first goal on his camera, but there was only a couple hours of battery life. And they didn't exactly score right off the bat, so you missed that one. All the player inductions, it was good.
No.
Roars overhead, rocks the nocturnal, Everglade glaciers, silver jet, so far up already. Fought the Hotspurs.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. It's 8:13. Now, Jets fans were pumped as they dusted off their jerseys to gear up for last night's NHL opening game at the MTS Center.
And BT's Sean Grech was there to follow the pre-game celebration party at the Forks and got your reaction to welcoming home our very own team.
Go Jets, go! Go Jets,
Winnipeggers have been kept bottled up for 15 years, waiting for the day to shout out their love for NHL hockey. And does it ever feel good?
You know, it still hasn't sunk in yet. I was at the last game when they went away, and I don't know. I feel like a kid on Christmas.
A sea of blue and white blockaded the MTS Center as fans anxiously waited to fill those golden seats. Others not so lucky shopped last minute to score tickets to the highly anticipated home opener.
Oh, I think it's just absolutely great. Like, I used to go to the games in the old barn with my dad when I was like this tall, and I was there for the last game, and I just can't, everyone you go to, you talk to, and they're just so happy that they're back.
Fans also got the chance to bestow their best luck wishes to the Jets, touching the vessel of water that was poured onto the ice, honoring the team at the MTS Center.
I pinch me. It still feels ridiculous. Like, I was one of the guys when no one said they're coming back when they built the MTS Center.
But there was little noise coming from the Hab fans, who were not afraid to stand proud while they continued to receive an unfriendly welcome.
Hey, anybody who comes in their building now is going to get booed, right? Whether it's the Habs or Toronto or whoever, so.
Although the fun did not stop there. If you didn't have any tickets, there was still a chance for you to enjoy the game over at the Forks. Hundreds of hockey lovers waved their flags to celebrate the return of the Jets.
We have half season, but we don't have for today, but that's okay. We're here. Woo! We'll be there. It's going to be just as loud here as it's going to be there.
While fans held on to their seats hoping to see a win, the enthusiasm was not dampened as the Habs beat the Jets 5-1. But there were still smiling faces at the convention center with fans just happy to have a team to call their own.
We didn't play awesome, but we weren't terrible. So a lot of promise on this team.
Made a good game tonight. They did all they could. Yeah, great game. They're back.
You know what? Win or lose, we're back in the bigs, and that's what counts. The fact is, yeah, I wanted to win, but it's a loss, but that's a loss in the NHL.
Without NHL hockey in the city for more than a decade and a half, Winnipeggers were forced to hibernate. And although the opening game was not a victory, fans are just happy to feel the heartbeat of hockey once again. For Breakfast Television, I'm Sean Grech.
An adorable Jets fan.
Super sweet. This kid's not bad either.
Yes, that's right. We don't want to insult Sean. He's just as cute.
He's adorable as well.
Yeah.
It was memorable, no question. I will never ever forget where I was when the Jets scored their first goal. I was changing a dirty diaper, and everybody else in the room started cheering, and I went,
"Oh,
nice one, Madeline. Good job."
Oh. See, you will always remember.
I will always remember.
Yes, and you can tell her that story on her wedding day. Right now, I'm going to take a look at your forecast. We'll check in with Jenna.
Good morning, Jets fans. Welcome back to BT. Very soon, that vehicle is going to go about 4,000 kilometers as we get Sebastian Marshall and Jeff joining us from Jet Fuel, the movie, because that thing is going to go follow our Jets around and make a doc about it the whole time. Should I be smiling because he's shooting me right now, right? That's as good as it gets. I'm sorry. All right, tell us the idea, guys. This all started in Calgary. You're going to follow our Jets and tell the story as you go, right?
Yeah, it started out as a road trip idea, and you know, it was. Jeff mentioned, hey, let's do a road trip. We can follow them, and
sure.
And kind of went from there, and then did a little bit of math and figured it out, and said, wow, 9,200 kilometers. That's a long way to go for two guys, and then we figured out after that. You know, we were talking to Sebastian, having a good time, and he's like, I'm coming with you. And we had heard that from a number of our other friends as well. Of course, of course, right? And he's like, no, we're turning this into a doc, and it's a part of history. And so we started talking about it, thinking about it a little bit more, worked it out that way, and said, you know what? We're fans, we're passionate. All Winnipeg Jets fans are very passionate individuals, and they're scattered all over the world. I mean, our website gets visits regularly from over 100 different countries around the worurt. So
cool.
We're over 50% of those countries in the world, right? And that's pretty cool in itself, too. So we know the Jets nation, as it were, right, has a huge wide reach. So
where are you actually going to go? You guys were at the game last night, lucky enough to get tickets. Very cool.
No, we weren't. No, we actually caught the game last night from foreplay right across. Next best place other than the MTS Center, right?
Yeah.
And so tomorrow morning we take off, quick stop in Minneapolis, talk to some Wild fans because they went through the same thing that the Jets did.
Sure, yeah, okay.
And then Chicago on Thursday for the game, and then drive from there to Phoenix to do the game Saturday night there. We get to see 2 sunrises on that trip, of course.
Nice.
30-hour drive in a roughly 36-hour time frame. And yeah.
Very
and
cool.
then back home up to Calgary.
So let me ask Sebastian, what are you looking for as far as things you want to shoot? You're looking for crazy Jets fans, the guys who paint their faces, or are you looking for the folks who were at the last game and at the first game? What do you think?
We want passion.
As simple as that.
Passion, just it's going to come out. Passion.
Cool. The guys, let's talk about how people can get their stories told. How can I be part of the doc?
So our website is the easiest and simplest place to go, jetfuelmovie.com, or you can check out our main site, which is winnipegwhiteout.com. You can get us on Twitter, you can get us on Facebook, all the other social media sites. We're out there as well. You can just look for the van. It's pretty easy to spot.
Yep, hard to miss.
We will be, as I mentioned, outside in Chicago and Phoenix before the games, looking around, looking for fans. You can also email us at info@winnipegwhiteout.com as well to get in touch.
We'll make sure all that's at breakfasttelevision.ca because there's a million Jet fans and a million stories to tell. So we want to make sure that's up there. But if I'm doing my road trip on my own, if I'm going to see my team on the road, I can look for you guys as well.
Please do.
Yeah.
Very cool. When it's all said and done, do the Jets have to win to make this doc a success, boys?
Of course, that would be nice. But no, I mean, you look at last night, a loss, an unfortunate loss, and standing ovation at the end of it. The fact of the matter is that we're here, we're talking about the fans, we're looking for the fans, the passion, and that's what it's about. Definitely going to be a huge bonus when the Jets win.
Yes.
When, not if, but when they win on our road trip. We'll get to experience the first regular season win and road win all at the same time.
Well, we're looking forward to lots of wins, guys, and we'll look forward to the doc when it's all said and done. We'll put that info at breakfasttelevision.ca. Going to take a break. Plenty more coming up on BT.
A little bit of an upset, but you wouldn't be able to tell judging by the fans' reactions.
I think they were just too happy that there was a game happening. It would have been nice if they won, but I don't think anyone was devastated by the outcome. And it was only the first game.
Yeah.
And it's Montreal. Can't complain.
It's a pretty good
team. Yeah,
yeah.
Their goalie was awesome.
Wow, Carey Price had his stuff going on. 30 shots.
That's pretty amazing.
That looked pretty good.
And we're still learning, we're still figuring out the relationships amongst the team, and they were saying that a lot during the game, that it's about a team-building experience, and this gives the coach a good chance to kind of see who works well under pressure, who should be lined up, so it can only go up from here.
They also pointed out our age a lot. Our grizzled old veterans are 28, so
yes.
So we got some time.
We got lots of time. Thanks so much, Courtney.
Thanks.
And that relates to our web poll question as well. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Just get onto our website, breakfasttelevision.ca. How do you feel about the first Jets game? Did you think it was almost perfect? Were you disappointed after all the hype? Or maybe you're just happy to have the Jets back? Or maybe you're just a little sick of all this hockey talk? Let us know, breakfasttelevision.ca.
I think the problem with the hype might have been the fact that Montreal wasn't paying as much attention as we were.
What do you mean?
Well, Montreal should have known that it was our game and our debut and we were everything that was the hockey. They didn't seem to care.
No.
No, they didn't seem to get all caught up in the whole festivities.
Winning is winning, right?
They came out and played great hockey.
Yes, it is. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but first we're going to see what Drew's up to.
Go Jets, go! Go Jets, go! Go Jets, go!
I need a fix and I need one quick.
Good morning, Jamie Thomas in the Connected Studios. An incredible moment Sunday in Winnipeg as the Jets finally landed again in their home opener at the MTS Center against the Canadiens. Now, the Jets obviously back in Winnipeg after that 15-year absence. Habs trying to avoid the 0-2 start, and they quiet the crowd early. Johnny Aduya, bad giveaway. Michael Camilleri, the great shot. 1-0 Canadiens. Move to the third, Winnipeg down 2-0. Nick Antropov in front of the goal, and he will pocket the first goal of the new Jets era. Winnipeg trailing 2-1. Less than 3 minutes later, Habs with the man advantage. Yannick Weber, the one-timer. Montreal spoils the party, beating the Jets on their own ice.
Well,
5-1.
fantastic time yesterday, no question, regardless of what you thought of the final score.
Yeah, well, you know, and our director Ian, he actually got to go see the game, and he took the flip cam, he took some viz there. Now, do we know by chance if Ian painted his own face?
Yeah, because that wasn't Ian, right?
No, that was not
okay,
Ian. I know that he's shooting this himself, but I'm curious to know if he was dressed up or not. Look at that crowd, and I know that he actually he had 2 tickets. So for a while, everyone wanted to be his best friend. In the end, his wife was able to go to the game as well. But look at this, that's great. Way up high, but still, you know what? Still a good view.
And that place is packed for warm-ups. That was the warm-up.
Isn't that crazy?
That's like going to watch batting practice for a baseball game. It was just the warm-up, and the place was packed. People were going nuts. It was, again, regardless of what you thought of the score or the national anthem, it was a wonderful, wonderful time.
Well, the energy I heard was amazing, and the noise was deafening. And we want to.
Well, this city still hasn't come down from its high-flying party yesterday. And after 15 years, the Winnipeg Jets returned to take flight for its first regular season game. And even though the Jets lost to the Montreal Canadiens, all Winnipeggers went home winners. CBC's Mikhailo Prastupa explains.
When it finally came, the city erupted.
The shot gets through. There's an Antropov scores.
The Jets scoring on home ice once again. Joe Kesey was one of the lucky ones inside the arena. After the game, he also appeared live on CBC.
That's my helmet cam, and we're here to record the moment live and catch you on YouTube. Big shout out to Section 305!
There's a lot of beer involved, just a little bit of beer.
He dropped by today to show us his footage and reflect on the historic day.
The child is born, and now we have to raise it, and in a couple years win the Stanley Cup.
Thousands of others celebrated too. At the Forks, in the bars, and at the convention center.
It brings back all the memories, the getting them in the first place, the losing them, and then coming back, and it's been such an emotional roller coaster for the last 3 months.
Even the shy billionaire co-owner of the Jets was floored.
I just feel that it's the outpouring of emotion would level any sentient human being.
Rarely has this city celebrated so proudly and with so many VIPs. The Prime Minister, Gary Bettman, and NHL royalty, past and present. The only downer, seeing the Jets shot down 5-1. But for a city long hungry for NHL's return, the loss didn't seem to matter. People just wanted to capture the moment and capture history.
Jets to win! Go Jets! Go!
It's a sense of community because if you're a Jets fan, you're a friend of mine.
Kesey says this city has forever changed.
I think we're the same people we thought we were, but maybe that sense of accomplishment that we can do anything, right? We brought back the Jets, we can do anything.
Mikhailo Prastupa, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Quite the party. Now, Winnipeg police say the Jets home opener went off without a hitch. Police officers and cadets were out in full force last night. Spokesperson Constable Natalie Aiken says people were passionate but respectful. Police won't say how many officers worked on game day, but say there was a significant police presence both inside and outside the MTS And we leave you now with some of the sights and sounds surrounding that Jets game yesterday.
On behalf of my family, our partner David Thompson, I am excited beyond words to announce our purchase of the Atlantis Raptors.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets.
Tonight on the evening news.
Everything getting up to this point was so big that it was like, okay, it's time for a nap.
It's the day after Game 1. Win or lose, Winnipeggers are still pinching themselves. Plus, mandatory evacuations are lifted for southeastern Manitoba residents forced from their homes by wildfire.
People do a lot for money, even if they have a feeling that might be wrong.
And later, the check is in the mail, but is it legit? Global uncovers an alarming scam making its way across the country.
From the Global Winnipeg Studios, the evening news with Heather Steve.
Thanks for joining us. There is a hockey hangover in Winnipeg today. A sold-out arena, bars and lounges packed to capacity, and households across the city glued to televisions to take in history last night. Not exactly the outcome Winnipeg would have wanted on the scoreboard, but by the majority of fan reaction, you'd never know it. Global's Tamara Furlansky reports on the day after Game 1.
A packed arena until the end and a 2-minute standing ovation. You'd never guess the Jets lost, let alone by a score of 5-1.
They're still standing up and cheering, which is pretty impressive with the performance that we put on.
Get a standing ovation when we lose. It just shows that we're going to have fans behind us regardless.
Many of those fans woke up this morning still thinking it was all just a dream.
Still pinching myself, and I think sleeping on it let the result kind of, settle a little bit more.
Mark Unruh moved to Vancouver 6 years ago, but that didn't stop him from scoring Jets season tickets. While his family's glad he's home for Thanksgiving, the big dinner paled in comparison to the home opener.
I didn't know what I was going to do, right, and I just basically sat there and started shaking a bit.
For some, the excitement was just too much to take.
Everything getting up to this point was so big that it was like, okay, it's time for a nap.
Go Jets, go! Go Jets, go!
While people descended on downtown in droves, even lining up at bars well before noon, police say not one person was arrested.
The fans that came out and they did support and they were embracing the passion in that, they did so in a very respectful manner.
The same can't be said for those watching with kids by their side.
I would get upset because I was talking to him. He was like, shh, I'm trying to watch the game.
Regardless of the loss, the game was a chance for this city to reclaim its rightful name.
We're not loser peg, we're not winter peg, we're Winnipeg, and that's a big deal.
So big, Unruh's considering moving back home for good.
If it wasn't for my work, I'd certainly, be back in Winnipeg at this point. As soon as they were back, it's like that was kind of a prerequisite for me moving home for sure.
The Jets can redeem themselves Thursday against the Blackhawks in Chicago. Tamara Furlansky, Global News.
Well, the Jets spent a day refueling off the ice Monday following their season opening loss Sunday against the Canadiens. Players will head back to practice tomorrow to start preparing for a quick 2-game road trip later this week with stops in Chicago and Phoenix, something the Jets see as a plus this early in the season.
Anytime you can get your team on the road right away, it's you build chemistry a little faster, and hopefully we come together pretty quick.
I think all over the ice we can improve, can be better defensively, we can turn over the puck less, and also we can bear down our chances. We had a few chances we just got to capitalize, me including. So I think we gotta keep on improving on all parts of our game. But I think we're a pretty hard-working team, which I think that'll come.
It's sad, but it's only one game. Tomorrow is another day, and we gotta be ready for next practice and next games. Yeah, it was nice to start the season, but now 81 games more, and it's going to be really, really tough.
I was happy with my team before. I still love our team today, just as much as I did yesterday and all the other days that I liked them. I still feel the same about our group. I think we got a good group. I still think we're going to be a good team, and I still think we are a good team.
We'll wrap it up. Of course, it was a hockey game that many will remember for ages. So we leave you tonight with some final sights and sounds from fans who took in the emotional and historic Game 1 last night. Win or lose, one monumental day for Winnipeg. Have a great night. Happy Thanksgiving.
See ya. Nice to see you.
Probably watching right now.